It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this video, I'll be taking it to South Memphis, Tennessee to discuss another tragic ending to a street brawl involving children and their parents. But before we get into this video, please hit the like button if you enjoy our content. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and join the Tony 2 times family. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, if you'd like to see more episodes of Hood Tales, please click the link to the playlist in the description box after this video to get caught up on episodes you may have missed. Finally, be sure to share this video with everyone you know, and also everything in this video is alleged. All right, let's get right into it. It seems like street fights are a common recurring trend in certain neighborhoods and communities, a trend that has been embedded into the cultural and communal aspect for generations. I myself have never had to witness street fights amongst a large group of individuals, but I have heard stories. In some stories, the physical fight was a conclusion to a dispute that may have been going on for a while, and it's finally time to duke it out and let the best man or woman, girl or boy win. Like John Witherspoon's character said in the classic movie Friday, "You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day." And in some of those scenarios, the people involved moved on and squashed the issue, especially when the people involved and their families grew up knowing each other. And in other situations, unfortunately, things are taken too far and the encounter can escalate to a fatal end. By no means do I condone these actions, but I understand that in certain environments, that is the way of life. An individual may not want to engage in an altercation, but those around them say otherwise. It's important to prove yourself in these circumstances because if not, you may still suffer the same consequences if you say no. It's a tricky situation and things can happen so fast, there's no going back. In the early evening of Thursday, March 14th, 2024, on Quinn Avenue near Pillow Street in South Memphis, police were called in response to multiple people being shot. One was a minor. When officers arrived at the scene, they found one woman gone and others wounded. Some were taken to the hospital to be treated for minor injuries. The 11-year-old was rushed to the children's hospital with critical wounds. The woman who was pronounced gone at the scene was identified as 39-year-old Tamara Plummer. Tamara was a mother of 4 and was pregnant with her 5th child. What was it that caused this mother to lose her life and many others wounded in the South Memphis neighborhood? According to investigators, cell phone camera video captured a brawl involving 15 to 20 people, including at least 5 to 8 juveniles, their parents, and other adults surrounding them, sometimes intervening. One piece of footage shows Tamara in the neon green talking to 2 men just as the altercation began. As the brawl ensued, you can see it spill out into the street, with most of the participants being minors. Tamara can be seen trying to intervene and pull them apart. 2 men approached the commotion, one with a sword or machete and the other with a firearm. As the footage continued, Tamara can be seen with a firearm in her hand. Tamara begins to back away from the scuffle and raises the weapon in the air. Moments later, a man later identified as 42-year-old John Davis walks directly toward Tamara with a firearm in hand, raises it, and fires 3 times at close range, striking her in the stomach. The man is seen walking away as Tamara collapses. Seconds later, more footage shows people scattering as another woman picks up a weapon and starts firing repeatedly. Ja'an was also hit as a result of that gunfire. The woman who fired the second round of shots was identified as Tamara's 20-year-old daughter, Destiney Plummer. Witnesses told investigators that the altercation started when Ja'an and another male allegedly pulled up and brought his children over to Tamara's home to put hands on her children. Things escalated quickly, and then the adults brought out weapons. Witnesses say that Tamara, however, pointed the weapon in the air in an effort to break up the brawl. As she did that, Ja'an allegedly fired at her point-blank range after approaching her in an aggressive manner. Ja'an admitted to detectives that he fired at Tamara 3 times and walked away and threw the weapon in a nearby yard. Ja'an also told police that some unknown person in the crowd handed him the weapon, but investigators found out from a nearby surveillance camera that Ja'an walked across the street to his SUV that was parked in his driveway and retrieved the weapon, then walked back over to the altercation. Ja'an Davis was arrested and charged with first-degree hit and having a firearm as a felon. He had a prior conviction out of Kansas City, Kansas from 2016. Destiney Plummer was also arrested and charged with reckless endangerment. She was released on a $5,000 bond the following day. Ja'an Davis and Destiney Plummer are both innocent until proven guilty. Wow, fam, what a very, very sad story. May Tamara Plummer rest in peace. My condolences to her family and her children. This is a tragic situation. Tamara's family said she lost her life trying to protect her children. Tamara was described as a devoted mother and put her kids before anything. She was a hairstylist and a lovable person, according to family members. A Gofundme has been set up to help with the cost of laying Tamara to rest, and any leftover proceeds would go to her children who are now without their mother. I'll leave the link for that in the description box below. I hope that there is justice for the family. I did give a bit of commentary in the beginning, but I wanted to continue on to say that I don't understand the idea of bringing or sending your kids to fight and putting them in harm's way. That's not something I would do, but I don't judge, and I understand why it happens in some circumstances. Some may say, why didn't Tamara call 911 when they showed up to her home? Well, in one forum, one person commented that this wasn't the first time this happened to Tamara and her children, and she did call the police, but they didn't show up. I don't know if that's a true fact or not, but it doesn't sound too far-fetched. And as for the 2 men out there showing up to entice a fight between young girls, children, and women is crazy to watch. Ja'an allegedly brought his daughters to fight. I didn't know some men carried it like that. I thought men kept their children, especially the girls, out of harm's way. My father would never ever encourage me and or walk with me to fight. As a girl especially, no way. And neither would my husband with our daughters. But like I said, I understand that circumstances and environmental factors are different for some people. But it's still not an excuse to act out in such a way and then in turn pass it on to the next generation, and the cycle continues. Be the person to stop the cycle if you're willing. Let's work on ridding ourselves of the anger and stop worshiping our egos. Let's work on ourselves individually in an effort to revitalize our communities and decrease senseless loss. Fam, Let's keep the discussion going and tell me your thoughts and opinions on this tragedy in the comments below. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm out.